Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday to you. Yes, if you think that you're seeing me live again for the third day in a row, for the fourth time in a row, you are correct. I know, right? We are coming live today for our third sponsors interview and our last one for this week for our Heart and Soul Virtual Expo. We're hoping to have quite a few people joining us this morning. So if you're jumping on, say good day, guys, because you know that I love to feel like we're all in the room together rather than me talking to my little computer. Now, just bear with me to check. Yes, I can see myself live. Beautiful. Now I can see all your comments that are coming up. So, guys, as I mentioned, we have our Heart and Soul Virtual Expo coming up in October this year, so on the 9th, 10th and 11th. And what we are doing before and leading into the expo is we are sponsoring all of our 12, we are interviewing, I'll get the words out in a minute, all of our 12 incredible sponsors. Now, honestly, guys, we could not do these expos without our wonderful sponsors. They are such a support to me and my team, Parme, my virtual assistant as well. And so we love to support them by bringing them on, doing these interviews and really getting an in-depth knowledge of their business journey and what they are now currently doing. So today, I would love to introduce you to a lady who I'm going to say I don't yet know much about. So I'm really looking forward to this interview. This is the beautiful Jenni LImb, and she is from ReJenU with golden drops inflammation. And it's known as the root. So inflammation is known as the root cause of most, I like this, dis-ease in the body. Now, most of us have got dis-ease in the body. I know I have, right? And we're either in a state of inflammation or degeneration, or we're healing that regeneration, okay? So the question that Jenni likes to ask is, which one would you rather be? So I'm going to bring Jenni up into the stage now. We're going to learn all about her business. Let's say hi to beautiful Jenni. How are you?
Hi, Ali. Thank you. And I'm really excited to be sponsoring this. This is a very exciting idea, and we've all done so much online. And for this to pop up as an online, I think it's a great idea. So thank you for having me as a sponsor too, Ali. That's really important.
I am absolutely thrilled to have you, Jenni. And what actually excites me is every time we do these expos, I always meet new people. And so I'm excited, like I mentioned, I am legitimately excited for this interview because we were talking about it before. I don't know much about you. So I'm learning as much as everybody else. So, Jenni, tell us a bit about your life's journey and how you have come to be where you are right now. That's a loaded question, I know.
Yeah, it is a loaded question. It could be a very long story, but I'll keep it
All
brief.
right, we got 45 minutes.
I was brought up in quite a unique family. Not originally. My father was a builder and my mum was a mum, and there was five of us, five children. But my dad got very unwell when he was in his 40s. I was only 10, and he had to have two hip replacements and a lot of other things. He was overweight doing that. He went off to a health farm. So we're talking in the 1960s, which was,
Right.
really a very unusual for people to go off. And he came back a totally different man, looked totally different, didn't know who this man was who drove up in the drive after being away for a month at a health farm, lost all his weight.
Wow.
Never, ever, he passed away in his 80s and he never, ever had to have those hip replacements. So we went on
Wow.
a journey then where we went vegan. We moved to the Mornington Peninsula. We grew all our own vegetables, lived opposite the sea. We had all the fruit trees, and mum's dad was a butcher, so we went into a very different lifestyle. And they were reading things like How to Influence Friends, and that book that
Yeah, I know the one.
and Dave, yeah, so he really took me into that world. And we were teenagers, when we moved to Mornington Peninsula, and I was very rebellious against the whole thing. We had to get up and go for a run. We had to get up and make herbs. And Mum went into become a herbalist. Dad became I can't even think of the name of it now, but I'll remember it when we go through. But he was always doing experiments in his laboratory. And so it was quite a different life. And then I went off to university, became a teacher, had 5 children, and then I witnessed a terrible accident with my husband at the time, and he died in front of me. Technically, didn't have oxygen for 3 minutes, but they revived him, and that took me on a journey where my life changed. He recovered fully, which was fantastic for him.
Wow.
But it impacted me as a mother of 5 kids at that age. And then I was diagnosed with things happening in my reproductive area, and went down a pathway where I'd never been to a doctor or a hospital before I was in my 30s, except to have babies. And anyway, though I was diagnosed then with cancer, got through that, didn't have, I'm 68 next month, so I haven't had, that was 30 something years ago. And that took me into the world of vibrational medicine and bioresonance, which I've been now doing for 30 years.
What's that? Tell vibrational medicine. So explain that.
Yeah.
That's like got piqued my interest straight away.
Yeah. So vibrational medicine or bioresonance is when I use machines, German machines that recalibrate the body using their own frequencies. So I've been in that practice now for 30 years doing that. Yeah.
My goodness, what a journey, Jenny. Far out.
Been a journey. Yes. And a few other things, and this is why I'm talking about inflammation, because it was 10 years ago, a bit over. I was collected by a truck going to Melbourne on the freeway at 100 k's an hour in my convertible. Walked away from the accident, but you can imagine the brain hitting the skull at some impact, and he didn't know he'd hit me and dragged me along the road. But anyway, when he pulled out, I did 360, but I was able to get out of the vehicle, but life changed after that. Got myself with all that I knew back on track, I thought. And then somebody said to me, have you heard of what we call the golden drops? And I certainly had heard of what they're made of, which is turmeric. And they said, yes, and it's turmeric with nanotechnology, which intrigued me because I'd been researching that due to what had been happening in the world at that time. And I realized when I started to just take the first few drops that I still had inflammation in the brain, and that cleared. So I didn't know that I had it. So I thought, what is this for it to work within 24 hours for me, with all the background of what I had done. So, so that's my journey. And now I'm out there sharing with people because I've got 11 grandchildren now, and I spend a lot of time with them. I've just got a new little one 9 days ago, but I can't not share this incredible product that we call it a product. It's a spice, but put with nanotechnology, and it's working on the inflammation in everybody's body in whatever way it needs to do it.
And we've got someone here who I know loves her golden drops, Helen Prince, and she does. And I was talking to you beforehand how I know quite a few people who take the golden drops and they've had incredible success. So you said that for you that you had success or results within 24 hours.
And look, that's not expected. If we know our body, we know that we have inflammation and it shows up in all different ways. But a lot of people don't think of migraines or headaches or things like that as inflammation, but they are. So, and there's a lot of inflammation pathways. And if you do go into the medical world, they will test it and take blood tests and test inflammation pathways to see what's happening. But what I love about this is there's published medical reports for turmeric, or the curcumin part of it. And this was something that I wasn't totally aware of. Curcumin and turmeric, you may as well say, are the same thing. But curcumin is a 3% active part of turmeric. So people will interchange them. They're actually the same, but it's the curcumin that's been researched. Turmeric can have side effects that are also listed, and people can research those, where curcumin doesn't have the side effects that turmeric does. But basically, there's 48 different pathways of inflammation in the body. And what I love about the body, and what I love about how it works, is if you give it the right information, the body heals itself. So that doesn't matter if we're talking mental, emotional, physical. You give it the right information. And with this, curcumin works on all 48 at once, and it goes and supports the body in the way the body wants to heal itself. So it's not the curcumin that does the healing. That's what people think. It's the body that does the healing. You're just giving it the information.
That is a really important point, I think, to make too, because I 100%, and I look at it, for myself, I know that I've healed mentally from the information, like you say, that I've given my mind, things like meditation and all that type of thing. So the information that you feed into your mind and your body. So that, to me, to take it then into the physical makes a lot of sense. Is that it's going to heal, support the healing.
That's exactly, yeah, the body does how it wants to. And what I've learned in the vibrational medicine that I've been working with for 30 years is that it doesn't matter where I come into the body to support it. It's if it's the mental aspect, where you can and look at what's happened in your life and the traumas that I've spoken about, or if it's the emotional, because of what you've seen and experienced and your feelings, or whether it's the physical, they all impact each other. So it really doesn't matter where you start. It actually ends up that it works with all three. So you might start with physical because you've got hit by a truck. You might start with mental because things have happened for you that you haven't had the strategies or known how to work with, or your mindset and things. Or it might be emotional because you've never, you've had to suppress your feelings. So it really doesn't matter which one it is, as long as you start one. They all work together.
They do all work together, and 100%, I will 100%, 1,000% agree with that. Having gone on, like I said, a mental journey, and it does. It affects your mental state, affects your physical state, vice versa. And to give you an example, I know when I was myself suffering from PTSD, depression, and anxiety from a very traumatic situation, I actually developed frozen shoulder.
Yes.
And it was interesting because I didn't realize this at the time, but when it was kind of like when my right shoulder was really in pain, it was attached to some kind of mental or emotional belief. Does that make sense? Or then if it was the left, it was a different emotional belief. But I actually back in the day, it was a few years ago now, I started to take or drink turmeric teas, and one of a friend put me onto it, and I was like, oh wow, I thought it was brilliant. It looked weird. It looked orange. So this is something, because I'm on the golden drops myself, and I know that it's the same thing, because you get the little drops and then they're orange, and people see it and they go, oh, that's weird. So tell us a little bit about how you take them and what's involved in that area.
What I love about it, Ali, is it's simple. You just have to get them in your mouth. And if you don't like the taste and that's a bit much for you at the start, you can get what they call gelatin capsules, empty capsules. You can put them in that and swallow it like a pill. if you want to do it that way. So a lot of people, they can't handle the taste or the texture because it has been nanified, which I could talk about with what the German company's done, but it hasn't changed the curcumin itself. It's just enhanced it. But so that's one way that you can do if you don't like it. You can put it in a cup of coffee. You can put it in your cup of tea. You can put it in any drink that you have. If you have a smoothie, you can put it in your smoothie. So it really does. It's not difficult. You just keep your routine. It's not something you have to add. Or you can put it straight in your mouth. Now, I've known for years, yeah, I've known for years with the work that I do that turmeric is a teeth whitener. And they used to put it in with your toothpaste and brush your teeth, and you'll whiten all the stains and clear all the stains off your teeth.
Oh,
So a lot of people get a bit frightened because they get a yellow smile. And I have 2 3-year-olds on a Monday that and cousins, 2 of my grandchildren, and they play monsters with me and they say, Granny, put your yellow monster face on. So I put my drops in and the teeth turn yellow and the tongues turn yellow, and they think it's really funny. But it actually is very supporting your teeth and supporting your gums at the same time. So anything that starts in your mouth, we know so much about the microbiome now in our gut, how it impacts our mind, but the microbiome in your mouth is just as important. So to start there is great.
well, there you go. You definitely do learn something every day, because I did not know that. No wonder my teeth look whiter. There you go. Awesome. So you've spoken a little bit about your own results, Jenny. Do you have any other results for the golden drops of clients of yours that you can share with us? Because I'd be really curious to know.
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think that's one of the things that's really excited me, because I get texts, I would say, every day of people just saying, I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe that's happened. And little things. I've had a client for years that I will see on and off, and she started the drops and she had a growth on her lip, which I can show a photo of that at some stage. And she had a growth on her lip, and when she has, is it keloid scarring that they call that, when you can have scarring where it actually ends up in a lump. So
I
when she
think so,
went to
yeah.
the surgeon, he said, if we take that out, you'll actually have more of a scar than what you've got now. So she thought, oh well, I have to do that. So she started the drops for other reason, and she sent me a photo. I think it was 2 months later. It's gone. It's totally gone.
You're kidding.
So we've got the photo. She said, I wasn't even expecting it. It has totally gone off her face. So that's one thing on a really minor thing when we're looking at external skin. I have a teenager who had the acne that can be really troublesome and really debilitating at that stage for your emotional state. And for him too. I said 90 days because the body recycles the cells and all of that, but he was within 6 weeks and his face was totally clear. So for a 16-year-old, that was really, really important. And that's just stopping the inflammation, remembering that the curcumin goes to the inflammation pathway that his body needed for his body to heal the reason that his skin was breaking out. So was it coming from sugar? Was it coming from liver? Was it coming from hormones? Doesn't matter. We don't have to figure it out. We just let the curcumin do, or the turmeric do what it needs to do. And then there was a girlfriend of mine who, with her grandson, her 10-year-old grandson, went roller skating because that's what she loves to do. And at the very end, she went over and broke her ankle.
Oh, no.
And yeah, I know. And at the same time, she broke one of her fingers, but she didn't know the ankle was the focus. And then a few days later, realized she'd broken a finger. So anyway, I said to her, look at this. This will support the inflammation, knowing too, and this was what I was curious about, inflammation's needed. It's really needed in your body. It's what your body does to heal. So if you get a splinter, you need the inflammation to get it out. So inflammation itself is really important. And I was curious at the start, well, if it's doing this, is it stopping the body from, are you just blocking? Are you just stopping things? Where the medical research shows no, it's supporting the body to speed up the recovery so that the inflammation goes down naturally. So I gave her for that because anyway, 10 weeks later, she said, was diagnosed with an autoimmune system thing that I thought I had to live with for the rest of my life in my hands. And she said, I've woken up this morning, not only is my little finger better, but my whole hand's now working and not in pain.
Wow.
And that was November last year, and it's still the same.
That's actually not the first story I've heard of to do with hands and things like that. And, beautiful Helen has shared a story like that as well. So that's amazing. And do you know what? As you're talking, one thing I'm noticing is that obviously this is safe for all ages. You're saying about, the 10-year-old, the teenager, people your age, and that to me is really incredible that it is suitable for all ages.
And
Yeah.
animals.
And animals, really?
Yes, because our four-footed friend, or even birds, they're very special in people's lives now. They're really, really special compared to how we looked at it when I was a young girl. And yes, supports them amazingly. And then you go, well, if I have a horse, how much would I need? So it's 1 drop for 4 kilos, but 10 maximum. So horses get a big response on 10 drops. And I've seen that with a friend who had a horse who was pining, and she didn't know why. And she realized that in where she lives, there's a lot of horses around. And there was a horse in another paddock who was a young horse, she was an older horse, who she'd been talking to every day because he was stressed and he'd been there for a couple of years. And she would talk, and then he left and she was pining. So she gave the drops, and within a week, the horse was all settled again.
So a horse, that's incredible. I wouldn't have even gone there. When you think about pets, you think about cats and dogs and budgies. That's about it.
That's right. Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
So these are obviously truly, truly powerful.
Sorry, yeah, you just have to think inflammation, mental, emotional, physical. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that's what we have to remember. So one thing I wanted to talk about, because this is, the Golden Drops are incredible products. We know that. Is there, and I know that, that they're a direct sales company. Is there a business opportunity for people to get involved in, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it direct sales. It's more a social marketing. So it's a little bit different in that way. But for people who don't know the difference, they will put them all, they will think, oh, direct sales, I'll have to go and sell. Not with this one. People get the results and they come back and they find you from nowhere. And that's what I've found with it. But there is the business opportunity, and it's so simple. I've looked at 40 network marketing companies in my lifetime. I haven't gone with 40 network marketing companies, but I've certainly looked at them and looked at their structures. I haven't seen one like this out of the 40. This is the first one that operates like this particular one does, in that it's very supportive of unifying everybody together. For me, I was retiring. So for me to come back into doing this type of thing, it gave great opportunity, because there's a unique opportunity at the moment where they have what they've called founders, and not all companies do this, but this particular one, in the first year of it being released in a country, gives you the opportunity of getting shares in a small amount that they put aside from the growth of the company. And that goes on for your lifetime, and it can be willed to your children. So as long as the company's alive, that goes on. So I saw that as a great opportunity, because my dream, I went through a divorce in my 50s, and it wasn't a divorce by choice, but it changed my whole life, my whole direction, my whole dreams, what my plans were of everything. And what I found out during that time, because I had developed a business and had a business, but the highest socioeconomic homeless in our country were women my age. And it
Yeah.
devastated me. They were
Yeah.
sleeping in cars, going to work. So one of the girls in my team and myself, we've had this dream. We didn't know how we were going to do it, because when you go through a divorce, you're not in the same financial state if you would have been if you were together. And
100%.
yeah, and what we want to do is there's a chap who has who's done a program, and what he's found in all the states of Australia and the territories, as well as New Zealand and Canada, how can you turn your home into a place that offers spaces that are separate without having to go to the council? And it offers a place where people can come. They could stay there for a long time. Most of them, he's found, are transitioning after 18 months to 2 years, because they've got themselves on their feet. They've got a community, and we can convert houses. So we want to supply and find places where we can really support women. So if they have gone through that, they don't have to be sleeping in their car. They don't have to be homeless. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm back doing this. And, getting the opportunity, having shares in the company, and knowing that what that can do towards this as well is just so exciting. So it's a company, it's a very supportive. And one of the things that we say in our team, you are in the business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. And
I
anybody who's
love that. That's beautiful.
yeah. Anybody who's out in business and doing their own thing and an entrepreneur, it's so good to come together and have a team that work beside you, go before you, behind you, and the whole lot.
It is, and that is important in business, to be networking with the right people. And clearly, in the company, it is a very, very supportive company. And I was going to say something, and
Yes.
I've thought, oh, that's what I was going to say. I love you mentioned that, after you're gone, it continues to go down to your kids. So you are literally leaving a legacy for your family.
That's it. And that has been something. So my mission statement for my business has to be to inspire hope. That's it. Just inspire hope. So whatever's happening, when they leave me, they have to, that feeling of inspiration and hope, so they can go and do it. And this is a legacy now that I can leave physically with the houses and the things that I'd love to create, to inspire hope for the women who come into it. And maybe it won't be limited to women. Eventually, it'll be to young couples who want to get enough money to save to earn a deposit on a house. But
Beautiful.
initially, that was where my heart went out to, was when I heard of the homeless, because I could easily see, after going through that myself, how easy it would have been, because I went through a divorce, and then I was, a few years later, 3 or 4 years later, had the truck incident, so I couldn't work. And then another 3 years after that, I broke my leg in both places, and an ankle, with one of my grandchildren on a swing. After riding 34 Ks, came back on a swing, and it was an interesting incident. But I realised that things can happen that take away your financial status.
Oh yes, and I'm going to 100% back up what you said, because I've been there. I'm in my 50s, and essentially you could say that I'm in that age group. Thankfully, I'm very grateful that I'm financially secure, which is awesome. But a lot of it could have gone the other way. So I want to say personally, thank you for what you're doing, because I think that is really special. I also see a lot of women, especially, going through that, and it is a tough time through life. And actually, and I
Breaks your
will say that one of my
time.
best friends is there.
Yeah, breaks your heart. It really does.
It really does break
And
your
to
heart.
be
So
able, yeah. So I'm now excited that I can go and do that. It's been a dream, and it was sitting there, and I just, sometimes you can't see how. You just have to have your heart there, and this has come across my path. And a lot of people have what they call post-traumatic stress when it comes to network marketing, if they've experienced it
yes,
before.
yeah.
So they sort of go, oh, I couldn't do another. Well, if you're thinking like that and you're wondering what, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in my whole life. The easiest thing I have ever done, and exciting and rewarding and serving people and changing people's lives. And it's just, you could call it magical because that's how it feels with it. And yeah, and it's just, yeah, the changes that I hear every day, and they're so grateful. And so, because a lot of people thought this was the rest of their life, the state of their health that they were in.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jenni, if you were to leave one bit of advice for anybody watching this, what would you say?
That there is hope. No matter what situation you're in, on what, whether it is a physical scenario, whether it is mentally you don't think that you're too overwhelmed, you just couldn't do anything else, or emotionally you just would get frightened going even into something like this. I just believe that there is a hope and there's a way that's right for you. It doesn't have to be the way anybody else is doing it, because we're all unique, we're all beautiful. We all have our connections. We're attracted to the right people for us. And there's millions and billions of people in the world, and you can never run out of people who need support. And when I did say that earlier, I think it is really strong. We are in a state of inflammation, and when we are degenerating. And when we're in a state of healing, which the body does beautifully when given the right information, we are regenerating. And a lot of people say that we age backwards. And I think being in that age group that I'm in, the baby boomers, where they, talk about all of that, we always are looking at how we can stay vital, youthful, no matter what age we are, and very vibrant. And, that's what I want for everybody else. And how you achieve that is uniquely yours. And when you listen to anybody, even with the golden drops and what it's done, for me, it's given me great focus. It's really cleared my head in a way that I didn't know it was clouded.
Wow.
And I'm more focused than I've ever been in anything that I've ever done. So it does work on such a deep level because the body does want to heal itself. It really does.
So there you go.
So that was a long end into it, but basically hope. There's hope.
But it's beautiful. This is Parme said, that's lovely. There's hope. And that, I think that is the perfect place to say thank you so much for coming on today. There is hope, and thank you for sharing all, your testimonies and your story, because that's really powerful. The thing that I love, is I love to hear the stories of how our life's journeys have gone to lead us into something incredible of what you're doing now. That is, I'm just so grateful for, like I mentioned, I am grateful for what you're doing because I can relate to it in a way. So thank you, Jenni. It's been absolutely incredible speaking with you today. And I want to say thank you for sponsoring the Heart and Soul Virtual Expo for the first time ever, which I was very excited about.
Yeah. Well, I could quickly see what you were doing, and I thought this is a great thing to sponsor because we all need support in some way, and it's great to be here and to do that and to learn more about what you're doing as well. So thank you, Ali, for having me and for sharing. And I look forward to sharing with other people what's possible for them.
Absolutely. And just so you know, guys, Parme has just literally put in Jenni's link to her website where you can go and learn more about the Golden Drops. And also, don't forget to come and join the Heart and Soul Virtual Expo group. So you can learn. Jenni, you're going to be doing some lives during the expo and no doubt educating us even more on the Golden Drops and how they work, how they can support people's health. So I really do sincerely look forward to hearing more stories of what you've got to share with us. That horse one, I'm sitting going, wow, horse. I still.
Thank you, Ali.
So thank you, beautiful lady. I'm just going to pop you down into the waiting room. Don't go anywhere. But thank you again. It's been wonderful, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. I am thoroughly enjoying these sponsor interviews. That was incredible information. Like I just mentioned, if you want to know more about Jenni and Golden Drops, please follow the link that Parmay has just put in, www.vitifyglobal.com/Jenni LImb. It's in the comments, so you'll be able to go and check that out. Now, guys, if you would like to come and join our Heart and Soul Virtual Expo as a visitor for free, you are welcome to come and join the group right now. You don't have to wait until the expo starts in October. You are welcome to come and join the group now. We, along with Jenni and all of our other sponsors and stall holders, we are now busily preparing for the expo, where people are setting up their stall albums. They are preparing lucky door prizes, and we're getting all kinds of bargains ready. So if you want to do some early shopping, you are welcome to go and do it right now. So we have pinned a pinned comment here is a link to our Heart and Soul Virtual Expo. As I mentioned, visitors are free. So just come and join in, have a look around, guys. We will be putting reminders in there over the next couple of weeks to make sure that you don't miss the actual expo in the 3 days, where we will have 3 days full of live trainings, demonstrations, all kinds of things. We'll be having posts going up. There will be an opportunity for a lucky door prize to win thousands of dollars worth of prizes, guys. So if that sounds something that you would love to be interested in, we would love to have you guys. Guys, I'm going to see you again next week for another couple of sponsors interviews. I can't wait. And for now, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.